And welcome back to our fourth episode as Italy, where we attempt to form the Italian Empire under Dino Grandi. Now, we have a few things we want to assess in this episode. I want to start thinking about organizing our fleets, getting our army on important front lines, particularly in Greece, in Africa, as well as making sure that we are training our Air Force, deploying new troops, and working towards that 1 million manpower mark that we're going to need to form the Italian Empire. Let's go ahead and deploy who we can here. Put them in this army for the time being. Actually, this one is more appropriate. I want to make sure they're all training, and any that can be should be assigned here. The mounted troops can stay on the border with France. Looking through here, I don't see anything I want to do immediately. We could start assigning some of these. Can't do anything there. But I think what we're going to do is actually pick up the war industrialist. We're done building civs, not building any infrastructure or railways, so I think it would be best if we switch over to this now. I did want to see what the hierarch offers, and it's just some bonuses to opinion relations, apparently, as well as some political power gain, which we don't really need more of, and reduced damage to garrisons. So nothing really useful there. In terms of focuses, I'm looking to maybe make the faction, get the Balearic Islands, maybe pick up some of these things for Albania, but I also want to make sure we're coming down here and working on Dino Grandi's tree. Could be good to pick up the bonuses to research that this would provide, and I think we might actually go ahead and do that maybe after we make our faction. I'm not sure yet, but let's go ahead and finish up our research slot. I'm going to go ahead and unpause it here, and I'm going to start organizing some of my fleets since a good amount of these subs are trained. Let's get them into their own fleets. Let's make this like a darker green since they're kind of stealthy. And we'll just call this the sub-fleet for now. If it'll actually do that, we'll call this sub-command and call this the sub-fleet. And a few things. I want to build some more mills. Do that up here in the north. And maybe one more dockyard. Let's see, where are we at on our dockyards? I'd like to have at least 3 more, get to 20. So we'll kind of sprinkle those in there. Another thing I want to think about is maybe getting air bases and radar here on some of these islands. Can't forget about the, what is this, the Dodecanese. I can't exactly recall. Let's see if it'll let me click on it. The Dodecanese, well, this is in Italian, I think, but those. And we're going to pick up the gun mass production as our trait for our infantry equipments. As for this research slots, what do we want to do? These are all ahead of time. We could pick up the oil processing, but this is only for refineries. We are already researching that. Still a little far ahead of time there. We got 36 days left on this. We could go ahead and pick up the basic engines now so that when that's done, we will have the tech to actually start building these relatively soon. Yeah, I like that. Just want to come in here and maybe do some equipment conversions. Some of our old equipment. This is looking pretty good. Don't have any new models of ships just yet. I did want to actually come in here and make sure that we're upgrading our spy agency so we can get that 3rd operative. That's just going to be pretty useful. Additionally, I just wanted to assess our planes. So these are all new planes. And I want to make sure we're deploying these. Let's see. So these are our fighters. And it's because this one's full. So what we're going to do is we're going to deploy that. And we're going to split this up so that it'll fill up. And that way new planes have somewhere to go. We'll do the same with that one. And that should cover it for a little while. I definitely want to get some more sort of mills into our planes, since that's going to be really important for not only taking on Britain, but taking on a lot of the powers we're going to be going up against. So let's change this icon. I like to go with the shark one. That's kind of cool. So I like to split these up into fleets of 10. So let's just divide these up and just take some of the extras off here. Now you'll notice a lot of these are sub 1s. And eventually what we're going to want to do is make sure that the sub 1s are going first. So actually what I'm going to do is see which one of these are sub 2s. So let's add the sub 2 to reserve and put the sub 1 in there. And just make sure that we're replacing sub 1 losses with sub 2s. And we're going to set this to automatic reinforcement. And we're going to set this to a sub icon. And let's see who would be good here. Probably maybe the inshore fighter. Yeah, let's go with him. Well, I don't know. So this is ocean. This is fjords and archipelagos. So is this one. I think we just want someone who has good attack. I don't necessarily love that. I think we'll go with him. Yeah. Since they'll actually be attacking, we want to make sure that they have good stats for that. And we also are going to go with the concealment expert for our sub leader and the smokescreen specialist. I don't know what traits this guy has. He has the... Okay, he has the big guns expert. We're definitely going to pick that up, as well as marksman. That's really, really good. Okay. As for this fleet, I'd like to take off some of these light cruisers and make an escort fleet. So let's just take the older ones first. Let's make 2 escort fleets. And we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. That's 8. Okay. Let's take 2 more. Put them there. And another 10. And don't worry, this is still plenty of destroyers to screen our ships effectively, but it's honestly way too many destroyers for our needs in terms of screening our ships. And I'd rather have the better destroyers do that, so we'll send 1 there and 1 there. We'll throw in 1 more destroyer for each of these fleets. And the point of these is they're actually, I misspoke, not escort fleets, but these are going to be our spotting fleets. And those are going to help us actually find the ships. We're going to set them to do not engage, just preemptively so I don't forget. And yeah, these are just going to help spot ships. We're going to put these under new leader. We'll give these a yellow, maybe a lighter yellow. And we'll put this icon. We'll call this spotting command. And we'll call this spotting fleet 1 and spotting fleet 2. I think we have a guy with the spotting trait. We might have assigned him. Yeah, we assigned him. Oh, no, this guy has it too. So we'll put him in. He doesn't have anything for us. We could just do concealment expert and smoke screen specialist so that fleet doesn't get spotted so quickly. That looks pretty good for now. This is still pretty sizable fleets. We'll want to get some more in here and maybe make a second strike force. But pretty good for now. So that addresses some of those things. Let's assign our new dockyard. Just put them on the subs there. And I'd like to make sure that this ship is also going to our reserve fleets. Yeah, okay, good. Excellent. Let's make sure... Okay, this one's already trained. Okay, no worries then. All right, everything looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and unpause. Let the game run for a little bit. It says these guys are unassigned. Oh yeah, these guys came back from Spain, so we'll just put them in that army right there. This guy has some traits he can get. Let's give him the charismatic trait. So right now our armies are training up. Let's make sure we put these on high priority. So armies are training up here. And we got some new mills. Let's make sure we assign these so that we don't have to keep coming back in here. Yeah. Can't take anything else there. We could think about getting a theorist. I would honestly like... Mobile warfare would have been maybe useful. But I'm thinking actually the naval theorist. This is for the 1 naval aviation branch base strike. Yeah, let's get the naval theorist. That'll help us get some of our naval doctrines earlier when we're not spending that on building new ships. Also, we might have a few things to sell. As you can see, people are actually buying our stuff if we exit there, which is adding to our industrial capacity. I believe the way this works is you just get a sort of... It adds to your IC, so what happens is you don't really notice it, but it just increases this bar every time you get a fulfillment. So I think that's how that works anyway. But we might have a few things to sell here. Some old tanks that we don't need. These old interwar bombers. We're still producing these. Yeah, we shouldn't be producing those. We'll sell those. And make sure we're not producing those anymore. Yeah, we have one on those. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And I had no idea. Those are you start the game with those planes actually. Additionally, let's come over here and get the pills. Yeah, let's do that. Doesn't directly help our characters right now, but they will eventually. We did get the tank chassis, but we're not going to use that just yet because we don't have the upgrades. We could get the radar. Still too far ahead of time. Could get the anti-tank. Eventually you get the howitzers down here, I believe. It's not here, but it's I think on this one. Maybe it's down here actually. I could have swore you get the medium howitzer. Maybe you get the improved medium cannon here. Either way, there are some useful tank upgrades down there, but we're not going to do that just yet. Could get the armor, but I think we are really behind on our support companies. So let's go ahead and get the... I think we'll get the logistic companies. That makes sense, yeah. Let's do that. Got a new trait and a new research slot. So this is for our tanks. I honestly think you just can't go wrong with getting some speed. Always good. Now, I think we should probably... I'm looking at some of those. I think... How much are we trading away? We actually can stop our tungsten trade, which is good. Gives us some extra stuff there, but I don't know. Yeah, I think we should probably research maybe some stuff in planes, get the range improvements. Yeah, let's do that. That's what we'll use it for. I think we don't use any of these more than the others, but let's just put them into our fighters. All right, let's pick a new focus. We got our research slot, which is excellent. There's a lot of really good things here. I mean, this one gives a bonus for infantry weapons, which, I mean, we still need to research some of that. This, I mean, so much here that we need. Lots of things here that would be nice. 35 days. Again, really want those. But I think it's time to make our faction, and I don't want Bulgaria getting any ideas and trying to join the Germans. So I think it's time that we make that faction, get the Bulgarians in, and secure this area here so that we can eventually deal with Greece. Okay, let's go and unpause. Just like to pop back in here every now and then, see if I can't take any decisions over there. Could fill out more of this, but I think what we're going to use some of our military experiences on is designing our tank division. And I can't remember if we had designed one already. No, we didn't. So we need to kind of rework this. Honestly, it might be easier to start from scratch, but we will do our best. I believe the current meta for tanks is somewhere around 36 width. So you'd want, well, you'd want kind of something, I don't know if we can actually get there. But the reason, by the way, you add trucks, if you don't know, if you're newer to the game, is Orc. If you just had tanks, not only would that be really expensive to fill, but the main thing is your org would be terrible. I mean, I think we're getting minus 27 org just from the tanks. Tanks need trucks to kind of support them. Now we got to 30, so we're gonna just take that and we'll build off of this later on. Let's deploy more troops, get them assigned as well, get them trained up. We got some air experience. I think we will just put that into our air wing training experience gain. We don't have any ships we want to design right now. I think we could design like some heavy cruisers, feasibly. I don't really think I want to do that. I mean, we could. We may as well. We don't really have the dockyards to support it, but hey, why not? Let's do it. So let's just take this here. Now, when you're building a heavy cruiser, you want to make sure you use the medium battery heavy cruiser battery 2. And that's going to basically enable it to be a capital ship. Let's pick up the battle line shipbuilder. Now remember, these are going to be capital ships, so you don't want to use like a screen. You know, you don't want to use a screen MIO. So already pretty expensive, but that's okay. Let's do 2 heavy batteries, secondary battery, and another heavy battery. Now, for what we'll call this, I think we'll call it the. We'll call it the Anglo-Italian, but we'll add an H so that we know it's a heavy cruiser. Let's do that, and let's switch over to the gun icon so we know it's a capital ship. And it'll go into this tab, and that way we'll also know. So let's put this on here. And I don't know, let's just take 1 just to put some production into it. I mean, if we're building it, we may as well kind of commit. It's a capital ship, it's going to take a while. So we'll do that. And that looks pretty good to me. And 1939 is not too bad either. And yeah, let's see if there's anything else we can do. Again, could get some of this, but I think we're going to hold off for now. So something I want to think about is we're going to be fighting here in Africa, and we want to make sure that our troops are going to have supply. So I think we might want to consider building a railway along the coast and building up one of these ports. Let's build this up to 2. We should probably build the one up in Tripoli just a bit. And I know that, you know, doing this takes away from some of our industrial capacity, but so be it. I'd rather have actual supply. I think we need to honestly put more mills into our guns. Yeah, I think, you know, if we're going to be building out our army, we're going to need guns. So we'll do that. Let's move these guys to the end, along with these militia divisions, which you can't disband, by the way, if you're curious. They're just part of Italy's focus tree. I think you can upgrade them later, but it is what it is. They can just be useful port garrisons. Alright, let's go ahead and unpause. We want to get the Italy first done and knocked out of the way. So yeah, I'm enjoying this series so far. I think it would have been nice to get Hungary, you know, into the fold, but you know, I'll just say that you kind of have to roll with these things, and you know, you can't always get it exactly how you want to, and it's good to kind of embrace the mistakes and, you know, not throw out an entire run just because of one little error. Let's just take 3 of these guys and put them into we'll make a new army here, and let's move these guys out, give them a new general, one of these guys, and just put them onto this guy. Now Turkey wants us to invest in their country essentially, and this is almost never worth it, but we can click this because it just gives us the options. It doesn't force us to take them. Also, we finished up this one, so we can go ahead and pick up some of these up here. We'll start with economy civilian. And when we do put spies in other people's countries, we'll be able to better know what they're doing. In terms of the field marshal, let's put a Talabalbo in. We no longer get the strengthened heavy industry bonus, and I can see now we're starting to have some resource issues. Chromium is one thing, but if we're starting to run out of steel and tungsten, it's probably time to start researching some excavation techs, because I don't want to trade for those resources, if I'm being honest with you. And that's exactly what we're going to use this research slot for. We did finish the engines, but little low on the army experience, so we'll just let that tick up while we wait. And we have created the Italian League. Look at that, it's beautiful. We got Bulgaria in the fold, and now you can kind of see the full extent of our territory. Compared to the Allies, it's maybe not quite so impressive, but it's okay. We will almost definitely be expanding. Now down here you have some options. You can get this, and this is really good. It helps you justify your war goals faster, and then you can do your war with Greece and claims on Turkey, and we are absolutely going to be doing this. And yeah, it just makes sense, but we have a little bit of time before then and a few things we would like to do so that we are in a good position. We could get the Balearics, it's only 35 days, but we could do that anytime. Spain's not going anywhere. And looking at this, I think what we're going to do is get the Stop the Squandering. This is going to give us some extra military factory construction speed and product efficiency cap. This is just going to help our industry immensely. Absolutely what we want to do so that we can expand our economy even faster. And by the time we get that, we should be ready to start building a few more mills. Let's go and queue those up in the regions. Let's actually get as many as we can up in these regions with good infrastructure efficiency. I want to stop being notified of some of these that we're definitely not going to do. Yeah, I don't... We might keep this one because I don't know. One option is, you know, we might not have gotten Hungary actually, well, as part of our empire, but we may be able to get them in our faction. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do non-aggression pact. I'm going to improve our relations since I have so much political power. And I'm actually also going to do that with Britain so that we can get that research coordination, military cooperation thing going. So I want to start doing that. And I'll improve with Hungary. And why that's so good is I'll be able to put a spy here, do diplomatic pressure on Hungary, and maybe get them into our faction. Wouldn't that be special? I think they have to flip to fascist in order to join, but they do that eventually. We can now become Spy Master. This will also give us another slot, I believe. As for these mills, let's put them on our planes and our guns. Yeah, this is starting to become an issue. We will need to trade for another rubber. We don't really make any, but we'll pick that up preemptively. Just gonna come down here, check on our planes. Yep, they're all doing their thing, but let's make sure they're training. We are making a little extra fuel now because, no, it's still a problem, but because we're not training as many ships, and we actually need to make sure that we're pulling some of these out as they finish training. So let's get the destroyer there. The subs should go into the reserve fleet. Got a new spy. Let's get this one. He's just so good. We could root out resistance, but we can actually move the one in Austria down here to do some of that. I think it's time to start getting some intel, or we could actually go ahead and use that diplomatic pressure. Lots of research just finished, so let's make sure we are using that. Let's get the radar. Industry is getting closer. Let's pick up the improved infantry equipment. Still a little ways away on the 1940 techs. Got about 2 years. And maybe we use one of these slots to start picking up some of these passive bonuses, such as the firefighting drills. You could get a huge reduction if you use naval experience. And we might want to do that. So maybe what we do is we get these. So I think the most useful one is going to be these for the battleships. So we'll do that first. Got our first trait actually for the fighters, and we're going to just do the product efficiency gain. Get this, and then we'll start upgrading their speed. Another one for the support equipment manufacturer. Let's get the... So this reduces the production resource need. This increases it, but you're still getting minus 5%. So overall, you win out and you get production efficiency cap. So we're going to do that one. Something that I want to make sure, and yeah, okay, we did add our bonus to the support equipment. I just wanted to double check that. We didn't actually do that for the trucks. So let's make sure we do that. We will need to wait a little longer now to get the experience we need for the tanks, but that's okay. And I think maybe we could convert, though that's going to take a while. Yeah, that's going to take a while because of our modifier. It's still not a huge reduction though, and I think we should honestly do that. You know, just better bonuses for our trucks and everything is going to be worth it. You don't have to do that, but that's what I'm going to do. Now, I would like to, let's see, we've got about half of what we need in the field, so yeah, we're gonna be training up several more divisions, and let's try and get 48. Let's get 48 training up. I know it's a lot, but we're gonna need a big army. For Talabalbo, let's pick up the defensive doctrine. This guy will be our defensive garrison leader. And if you don't know who Talabalbo is, he's actually one of the other options. Let's get these guys just on a... Let's get everyone here, well, just these guys, on a defensive order for some of the ports on this coastline. And eventually we will expand this army to be our garrison defense against the likes of Britain. Very important. And just checking in here, make sure I'm not missing anything. With that Navy experience, we could go over here and get one of these. And I think we are going to do that. We're going to pick up the Instilled Aggression. Again, going to wait on these other spirits. Need a little more army experience. I think about 30 should be good enough for our first tank. Now, I don't know who these troops are that are unassigned. Oh, it's this army. Okay, let's make sure they're over there. Looks pretty good so far. And yeah, now it's just a matter of kind of building up our army so that we can eventually get to the point that we're ready to take on whoever we want. All right, finished up that focus. Lots of options here. I think we're going to go ahead and seek British military cooperation. Again, research is super important. The earlier you get it, the better for your country. It says we have not enough manpower to fulfill our garrisons. I know that's not true. Oh, it's the infantry equipment shortage. And that's because we have priority on building up those recruits. And I'm okay with that. I'm not too worried about it. In fact, we actually need to move her off of there and move her down here. Start reducing the resistance here in Dalmatia. It says we can get doctrines, and I think we are going to start doing this. Usually have a buildup of air experience in this game. So we're going to do the strategic destruction route in this playthrough. Let's get the Army Department. 4th International just fired, and it is September of 1938. And there goes the Munich Agreement. I think you're going to see some of these guarantees drop on countries such as Romania pretty soon. And we're about a year away from the war starting. So, we need to make sure that we are building up and putting our troops in the correct locations. Got some new troops. The troop here we want to make sure are assigned there, but we did deploy new troops. I'm surprised they automatically deployed, actually. I don't know, maybe I clicked that, wasn't checking. Let's assign him to that army. And get him. Gotta actually click it. Get him over there. Okay, we have enough army experience. This is for the... This is for submarines, actually. Okay, well, let's get the speed. Upgrade that, and that is going to make these outdated. So let's build one more. Build one more, and then when that's done, we're going to swap it out. So we're going to preemptively do that. We're going to add this one, and we'll have those dockyards go into here as soon as it is done. Let's also go ahead and design that tank. Let's make sure that is upgraded. Let's go and put so we don't have any of the medium armaments, so I would just like to put on an improved small cannon. Let's get I'm actually gonna pause this. Let's get the just go ahead and go over to the Axis theme. Sure, let's get riveted armor. It's cheaper. Let's do Christie suspension. Let's upgrade the engines to as high as we can, and you'll notice that tanked our reliability. That's okay. We're going to add on the radio and the wet ammunition storage. Could also add... Well, you can't get it just yet. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. I'm thinking of easy maintenance. Can't get that just yet, but we're going to make up for that by not adding any armor. We're gonna get rid of that. Just move it over. It's a little bit more, makes a little more sense. And you might be thinking, well, that's not great armor, you know, not amazing reliability, and that's okay. It's our first tank. You can't really expect that, generally. And we're gonna call this the Centauro, and just gonna kind of name that after the mythological creature, and that we're gonna be doing that with our tanks. I like to do this with Italy. Germany usually does big cats like panthers and tigers and stuff like that. I like to do mythological creatures from Roman mythology. So that looks good. Let's go and do that and start building it. Not going to be able to put too many into it yet, but let's just take a few of our guns, even though we really need them. And yeah, that'll just fill in over time. Alright, let's go ahead and pause. We are building the railway, so we got that now. And that'll improve supply in the region. Let's get the last one here, put it into the respective MIO. And this is for our battle line ship builder, so let's do the armor without the increased production cost. Again, that will decommission these, and we're just going to make sure, I mean, you really don't want to build more than these anyway, so we'll set that to 1 to make sure that we upgrade the ship when those are finished. By then, I'm hoping you will eventually have the new techs for the 1940s. So I'm looking here, and they're fascist now, which means we're really close, and we are improving that. We could... Would we get a bonus if we support their claim? I mean, what are we losing here if we give them this? Nothing. And we can't even access that manpower anyway. Okay. Well, hopefully, if we give them that, they'll like us more. And they don't just yet. Well, I'm hoping that eventually, maybe we could put another one of these. Let's say we move her off and do additional diplomatic pressure. Maybe we do that, and then we come over here and pick up the diplomatic training. Maybe by the end of the episode, we can get Hungary in as well to our faction. No, and just like that, actually. So for this, we're going to pick up construction 3. And we are going to let them into our faction. And look at that. We may not have gotten Hungary in directly or annexed them, but we have a nice strong Hungary with another state. It's not a core, but another state, and they will be a useful ally come World War II. All right, we're going to finish up this focus, and we're going to end the episode there. But yeah, some good progress in this episode. Built out our Air Force a little bit. And now, with that new military program announced, signed a joint cooperation program with the UK, strengthen both our military capabilities. Now, eventually, we'll probably be going to war with the UK, but that's all right. We'll take advantage of it for the time being. We're going to start this focus, but we are going to end the episode there. So I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.